With a population of just over 670,000 and an area smaller than Rhode Island, Luxembourg boasts one of the highest GDP per capita in the world. But how did this tiny, landlocked country become a global financial powerhouse? And why is it considered one of the wealthiest nations on Earth? The answers may surprise you, and it's not just about low taxes. Luxembourg, a small country nestled in the heart of Europe, is often overlooked by its larger neighbors, Belgium, France, and Germany. But despite its size, Luxembourg wields enormous economic influence, and its citizens enjoy one of the highest standards of living in the world. With its combination of thriving industries, low unemployment, and a highly skilled workforce, Luxembourg has managed to carve out a niche for itself as a global financial hub and a leader in innovation. From its picturesque landscapes to its booming economy, Luxembourg seems almost too good to be true. The country boasts a rich history, but what's most remarkable is its economic transformation over the last century. What was once a poor, agrarian society has developed into one of the wealthiest nations on the planet. How did Luxembourg achieve this? In this video, we'll explore the historical, economic, and political factors that have contributed to Luxembourg's rise to wealth, and examine the challenges it faces as a prosperous but small nation in an increasingly interconnected world. Luxembourg's path to wealth wasn't always paved with gold. In the early 19th century, the country was one of Europe's poorest. Over 80% of its population worked in agriculture, and life for many was characterized by hardship and poverty. In fact, 1/3 of Luxembourg's population emigrated to the United States in search of better opportunities. For those who remained, the economy was driven by small-scale industries like tanneries, textile plants, potteries, and paper mills. Luxembourg's lack of resources and infrastructure made it difficult to compete with its neighbors. However, things began to change in the 1840s, with the discovery of iron ore in the country's southern region. This discovery sparked Luxembourg's industrial revolution, leading to the rapid development of the steel industry. By the late 19th century, Luxembourg had become a major steel producer, supplying materials for some of the world's most iconic structures, including New York's skyscrapers. The steel industry brought prosperity and transformed Luxembourg into one of Europe's industrial powerhouses. In the 1970s, nearly 1/4 of the country's wealth came from steel production, and Luxembourg was among the top steel exporters in the world. But as with all industries, the steel sector faced challenges. The global economic crisis of the 1970s hit the steel industry hard, leading to a decline in demand and prices. Between 1975 and 1985, Luxembourg was forced to adapt as the steel industry shrank and thousands of jobs were lost. Rather than allowing the crisis to devastate the economy, Luxembourg took proactive steps to diversify its industries, setting the stage for its transformation into a global financial center. The story of Luxembourg's rise to wealth centers on its ability to reinvent itself in the face of adversity. After the steel industry began to falter, Luxembourg pivoted towards the financial services sector, which would become the backbone of its economy. In the late 20th century, Luxembourg's government recognized the need to attract foreign investment and diversify its economy beyond heavy industry. To do so, it introduced favorable tax policies that encouraged multinational corporations to establish their European headquarters in Luxembourg. One of the earliest and most significant moves was the passing of the holding law in 1929. This law offered tax advantages to holding companies, which are businesses that own and manage other companies' shares and assets, but don't engage in active business operations themselves. This made Luxembourg an attractive destination for multinational firms seeking to minimize their tax burdens. Over time, Luxembourg developed a reputation as a global tax haven, drawing in financial institutions and corporations from around the world. By the 1980s, Luxembourg had become a major player in the financial services industry, with banks and investment firms flocking to the country to take advantage of its favorable regulatory environment. Today, the financial sector accounts for about 1/3 of Luxembourg's GDP, with over 150 banks and numerous financial institutions operating within its borders. The country's financial services industry is bolstered by its political stability, strong legal framework, and membership in the European Union, which provides access to the single market. In addition to banking, Luxembourg has become a hub for investment funds. It is the largest investment fund center in Europe and the second largest in the world after the United States. Luxembourg's financial services industry continues to thrive, thanks to its ability to adapt to changing market conditions and its reputation for being a stable and secure place to do business. Another key factor in Luxembourg's wealth is its low corporate tax rate, which remains a significant draw for multinational companies. Global giants such as Amazon have all set up their European headquarters in Luxembourg, taking advantage of the country's tax regime. Luxembourg's favorable tax environment extends beyond corporations. Individuals also benefit from relatively low taxes and a generous social welfare system, contributing to the high standard of living enjoyed by its citizens. Luxembourg's location in the heart of Europe further enhances its appeal. The country's proximity to major European economies such as Germany, France, and Belgium allows it to serve as a strategic hub for companies looking to operate across the continent. Luxembourg's excellent transportation and communication infrastructure also make it an attractive location for businesses. While finance and investment play a major role in Luxembourg's wealth, the country has also made efforts to diversify its economy. In recent years, Luxembourg has invested in sectors such as technology, telecommunications, and even space exploration. The government has been particularly active in supporting tech startups, creating an environment that encourages innovation and entrepreneurship. Luxembourg's bet on the space industry is particularly noteworthy. In 2017, the country passed laws allowing for space mining, positioning itself as a potential leader in the emerging space economy. Luxembourg's education system and highly skilled workforce further contribute to its success. The country has invested heavily in education, ensuring that its citizens are equipped to compete in a global economy. Additionally, Luxembourg benefits from a large number of cross-border workers who commute from neighboring countries like France, Belgium, and Germany. These workers contribute to Luxembourg's GDP, even though they live outside the country, further inflating its per capita wealth. Despite its immense wealth, Luxembourg faces several challenges. One of the most pressing issues is wealth inequality. While Luxembourg's GDP per capita is among the highest in the world, not all citizens benefit equally from the country's prosperity. The high cost of living, particularly housing, has become a significant problem for many residents. Property prices have soared in recent years, driven in part by the influx of foreign workers and companies. As a result, affordable housing is increasingly difficult to find, and lower-income residents are feeling the squeeze. Luxembourg's reliance on the financial sector also poses risks. While the sector has been a major driver of growth, it makes the country vulnerable to economic downturns and changes in international tax regulations. The LuxLeaks scandal of 2014, in which journalists exposed how multinational corporations were using Luxembourg's tax laws to avoid paying taxes in other countries, brought negative attention to the country's financial practices. Although Luxembourg has since made efforts to reform its tax policies and increase transparency, its reputation as a tax haven continues to draw scrutiny from other European countries and international organizations. Additionally, Luxembourg's small size and limited natural resources mean that it must rely heavily on international trade and cooperation. The country's economy is closely tied to the fortunes of its larger neighbors, and any disruptions in the European economy could have significant consequences for Luxembourg. Luxembourg has not ignored these challenges. In recent years, the government has taken steps to address issues like housing affordability and wealth inequality. One approach has been to increase investment in public housing and offer subsidies for housing construction. The government has also introduced policies to encourage more efficient use of land, such as redeveloping old industrial sites into residential areas. These efforts aim to alleviate the pressure on the housing market and ensure that more citizens can benefit from Luxembourg's prosperity. In response to international pressure regarding its tax practices, Luxembourg has implemented reforms to make its financial sector more transparent. The country has signed agreements with the European Union and other international bodies to share tax information and reduce opportunities for tax avoidance. These measures have helped Luxembourg avoid being blacklisted as a tax haven and have improved its standing in the global financial community. Luxembourg's government is also focused on diversifying the economy to reduce its dependence on financial services. Investments in technology, innovation, and space exploration are part of this strategy. The country's efforts to become a leader in space mining, for example, reflect its forward-thinking approach to economic development. By embracing new industries and encouraging entrepreneurship, Luxembourg is positioning itself for continued growth in the 21st century. Its wealth is built on a foundation of smart economic policies, a thriving financial sector, and an ability to innovate and diversify. However, the country is not without its challenges. Wealth inequality, housing issues, and external pressures continue to test Luxembourg's resilience. Yet with its forward-looking approach and commitment to reform, Luxembourg is well positioned to maintain its status as a global financial powerhouse and a beacon of prosperity in Europe. If Luxembourg's incredible journey from poverty to prosperity piqued your interest, be sure to check out our next video on another small but powerful nation, the Vatican. Thanks for watching.